In the first several sessions, I remind my students and participants frequently that my goal is to give them access to their people's book, and it belongs to them as much as it does to me. So the first thing we do when everybody has a copy of the bestseller is I give them a roadmap. And the roadmap starts with literally having everybody open up to the table of contents. And in the table of contents, we see the 5 books: Bereshit, Genesis, Shemot, Exodus, etc. And, people don't even realize, you have to remember, from beginners don't even realize that the 5 books mean what it means, the 5 books of Moses. Well, within this book, there's 5 books. And it's interesting to see that, and I let them notice this on their own. Oh, that's interesting. The first book is called Bereshit, and this first chapter seems to have the same name: Shemot, Shemot, Vayikra, Vayikra. So I asked them, who can explain this? And they're usually at a loss for words. So I explained to them that the name of each book and the name of each parsha is taken from the first main word in that unit. And so, of course, the book is in the first chapter of that book, going to have the same name. Then I show them, I pick a random place in the Torah. Often the beginning of Parshat Noach is a great place to do this, because when you go there, in the Art Scroll editions, page 30, and I use the page numbers, always use page numbers. To ask them to find chapter and verse is so challenging for them. Just tell them, please turn to page 30. That's what they're used to, 30, 31. Now notice that Noach starts in, then I say, well, what chapter and verse should we? Chapter 6, verse 9. Wait, let's go back a couple pages. Let's go back to 27. There we see chapter 6 starting. Why does Noach start in the middle of a chapter? By the way, this is one of the flaws of the Art Scroll edition, which, in my opinion, they made a mistake. They give such prominence to the chapters numbers and not enough to the aliyot, the aliyahs to the Torah. But be it as it may, is there. So I asked them to explain that. Nobody can, so that's when I have an opportunity to tell them these chapter and numbers and verse numbers come from non-Jewish source. And so we don't have to give them any importance other than they're useful. So if I refer to chapter and verse, there's nothing Jewish about that. For Jews, it's chapter. There's chapter Bereshit and there's chapter Noach, and there's no chapters in between. And that's very interesting for them to find that out, to learn that, and it gives them a window into history as well. Second of all, on the roadmap, I literally, I show them what they're looking at on the page. Here, this is the text of the Torah. This is an Aramaic translation of the Torah called Onkelos, which was written almost 2,000 years ago. This is a medieval commentary known as Rashi, which we'll learn about later. And I turn them to the back, and I show them the index. I actually have everybody turn there. I have everybody see the bibliography. Everybody see the 5 Megillah. So they have a sense of, okay, I know what's in this book. I have a sense of it, okay? And the index is important. You want to look something up? Here's where you look. Something you heard about. You want to remember who was this, who did that. Look back there. It's very important to start them off with a roadmap and give them that real sense of ownership. It's almost like you're teaching somebody to drive a car, and the first thing you do is you sit there and what are all these different things? Do all these buttons and bells and whistles. The next step will be, the next video will be the first lesson, how to do the first lesson in Chumash.